Hello. For level 5, the oral component of the first midterm exam is a mock job interview. And some time ago, we decided to do so because there was this complaint that our students, upon graduation, and they were unable to land a job, not because they lacked the technical skills and to work in the field, in the healthcare field, but because they lacked job interview skills. So we decided to include that in the course, at least for levels 5 and 6, even though it was not in the course book we were teaching back then. And of course, we have to train. Besides assessing that in the midterm exam, we have to first provide training in the classroom for that. And other than that, the first day of the course, we usually have this part of the class where we introduce ourselves to our students and have them introduce themselves as well. And for that, I provide like a set of points that they can follow for their presentations. And those include, name, where they're from, how long they've been in this country, and what they did before coming here, if they are working at present. And then I also ask them to provide a brief description of themselves, which I have done previously myself. And when I teach, I always have this Word document minimized at the bottom of the screen. And I also have this online dictionary, which provides phonetic transcription and definitions, of course, and then the Moodle page for the week in question. And so I use this Word document as my board, as my whiteboard, and I use a large font so that students can read easily. And then I list those points that I want them to talk about. And then I list the adjectives that they provide to describe themselves, and the adjectives and sentences and phrases that they use to describe themselves as hardworking, sensitive, reliable, whatever. And then I work a little bit on that vocabulary, pronunciation, and synonyms and stuff like that. But then I pose this question. And so if you were asked the same question, how you would describe yourself in a job interview, would you use the same adjectives? And of course, for a job interview, what the interviewer wants to hear are different adjectives. They are not interested. You would not tell an interviewer that you are a shy person, because that would not be good to get the job. So, and I give them a link to YouTube videos. Those links are on the Moodle page, but I also type those in the chat box in the Skype platform, and so they can have easy access to those videos. Because I cannot share audio with Skype, unfortunately, I cannot play the videos. I always share my screen. I cannot play the videos, so I have to give them some time to go to YouTube, watch the videos, and then come back to my lesson and discuss those videos. And let me show you here. Oh, here. This is my Moodle page, and as you can see here, I have this job interview questions and answers, job interview bad examples, job interview good examples. Let's click on one of these.
Mary? Hi.
Hello, I'm Susan Thompson, Resource Manager here.
Hi, I'm Mary Hansen, and I'm applying for one of your kitchen jobs.
Great.
So, and as you can see,
Have a seat, Mary.
and
Thank you.
in the interviews, they will see a person with a person who has interview skills plus another one who does not, and so they will compare and they will also learn the language. And so we're working with two things at the same time. One, the language for job interviews, adjectives they can use, typical questions, and second, skills. I mean, type of attire they should wear to a job interview, posture, and all those little things. So it's we are teaching language, but we are teaching job interview skills as a byproduct of the activity. So then they come once they watched the videos, they come back to me and we discuss good and bad behaviors during a job interview, language, and typical questions and typical answers for those questions. And then of course that all that goes into the Word document that I use as my board, and by the end of the day I edit everything carefully and I send them the document. Okay, now as to the point, why have I chosen this technology over other technologies? Well, for starters, it was MRU's demand that we use Skype for Business, not Blackboard, Collaborate Ultra, or Teams or whatever. So we were we were required to use Skype for Business, and I've sort of become used to it. The only concern I have is that I cannot share my audio files. I mean, and so I have to provide links for them to listen to the recordings by themselves and then come back to me. And so sometimes I have dialogues that are recorded, and so they can listen to native speakers, and I cannot share that via Skype. And other than that, as I said, I use the Word documents because that's my board. And let me show you how. So you see there, I have the questions for the exam they will have by the end of the course. I also have language that they can use for that task. This I usually do in collaboration with the students. I mean, this is from previous courses what students have contributed, but I add whatever the new class contributes to the lesson. And then I also use, of course, this online dictionary because it gives me the opportunity to use the IPA, which I prefer over this phonetic respelling. And then I slowly, I mean, little by little, I introduce my students to these phonetic symbols. And then, of course, I use Moodle. And then in Moodle, as I showed you earlier, they have links to videos.
At Michigan State University in Lansing for 4 years.
I sometimes include mini lessons in PDF format, and And then, of course, exercises that they have to upload online. To upload to the Moodle page. So basically, the technology I use is that the internet, YouTube, because even though YouTube might not enjoy a lot of recognition as a good resource, as a reliable resource, maybe for the for sciences, but for language-wise, YouTube is a great tool, and virtually you can find anything you need to teach on YouTube. Whatever grammar points, language, and of course you have to watch the videos first and see that they are that they do not misguide students. Once you've done that, I think it's safe to use YouTube for language teaching. And so basically it is the Skype platform, YouTube videos, and Word documents. That's about the technology. The technology, the size of the range of the technology I use in my online lessons. That activity in question aligns with this end of course learning outcome, which is converse on a variety of topics ranging from common social interactions to more abstract discussions on non-academic matters, using appropriate grammar, word choice, register, fluency, and intelligible pronunciation. And there are occasional mistakes inherent in the process, but those do not hinder overall comprehension of what is being said. So, because we are engaging here on a debate with also we are using high order thinking skills as comparing and contrasting when they are comparing the job. The good behavior in a job interview plus versus wrong behavior and wrong things to do and dress codes and all that, language, posture. So and they are also using the language the communicative functions required for a job interview. So the language component and asking for and providing personal information, talking about one's job experience, and talking about one's skills, describing oneself, which are language functions. And that is part of the contents taught and for the first lesson in level 5, at level 5. And